Hey, how's it going? My name is Christine and welcome to the channel. I am also known as Frugal Fit Mom here on the internet, and welcome to today's cooking show. A few weeks ago, on Prime Day, that would be the day that Amazon celebrates its anniversary, which this year was moved to October, I talked to you guys about some of the deals we had that day, and one of them was buy 2 books, get 1 free. And I got this. America's Test Kitchen Easy Everyday Keto. While I don't necessarily eat keto on a regular basis and I don't really follow the diet, what I do like about it is the focus on more vegetables and a protein for your standard day-to-day way of looking at your meals. And I really like that. You don't have to have like a keto meal all the way keto. There are easy ways to incorporate more carbohydrate if you would like that in your diet. But I have seen several of my online friends really enjoy the America's Test Kitchen cookbooks. I'm excited to start collecting some of them and try some of the recipes in them. So today we are going to be trying a multitude of recipes from this cookbook. Like any self-respecting stay-at-home mom, I headed right to the dessert section. To go with our dinner tonight. Chocolate chip cookies are my love language. Okay, I thought it would make sense to try out a keto chocolate chip cookie and see how it compares. Because in several of these recipes that I picked out to make, you need some specialty ingredients. I have xanthan gum, coconut flour, almond butter, sugar-free chocolate chips. I was thrilled that Thrive wanted to partner with me for another video. I have worked with them for a couple of videos in the past and I love their service. It is a mail order service that gives you specialty ingredients, regular ingredients, food, home care products, skin care products. They are a monthly subscription, but when it comes to saving the most amount of money, the annual subscription makes the most sense as it's only $5 a month. Of course, if you guys want to sign up, I do have a link down below that gets you guys a free gift up to $24 if you sign up through my link. And because I've been a member of them for a couple of months now, they send me emails all the time for free products, percentages off, like extra percentages off, like 25% off, 40% off paleo items. I've been a big fan of them while I have been using them, and I was thrilled to be able to pick up a couple of specialty ingredients for today's video. Let me show those to you right now. I started with some specialty sugars. I got the Swerve brown sugar and granulated sugar just to keep in my pantry. Pretty excited about that. You guys can shop on the Thrive Market website by diet and value. Like you can just search out keto, paleo, gluten-free, vegan, non-GMO, BPA-free, etc. Have you had these Wonder Noodles? I'm gonna give you a quick spoiler. They're really, really good. So if you want like a 0 net carb or super low carb noodle, I highly recommend the Wonder Noodles. They have a bunch of different shapes of the pasta that are awesome. Also, can we talk about the coconut milk from Thrive Market is cheaper on Thrive Market than any of my grocery stores, and it's a better quality product. I was really excited to find this. I will be ordering my coconut milk from now on from them and nowhere else. And for the first time ever, I have been able to find fish sauce. Woohoo! If you guys want to try out Thrive Market and see if you like it, I do have first link in the description box, a link that will give you a free gift with your first order. If you decide that you don't like it for whatever reason, they will give you all of your money back within the first 30 days. So it's a risk-free experience for you. And thank you once again to Thrive for helping me out today. And let's get cooking keto chocolate chip cookies. For today's chocolate chip cookies, we need almond flour, coconut flour, baking powder, baking soda, xanthan gum, table salt, erythritol, melted butter, almond butter, eggs, vanilla, and sugar-free chocolate chips. We are going to mix up our dry ingredients, starting with some almond flour and then coconut flour for its liquid absorption purposes. Next comes some baking powder, and yes, that large 5-pound container is what I have. Baking soda, a little bit of xanthan gum to help it hold together, and some table salt, just a pinch. Little stir there and set it to the side, and we will work the wet ingredients in a slightly larger bowl. So I have some melted butter, my granulated Swerve. You can use a different sweetener if you want, but just check your ratio measurements. Then comes some almond butter and vanilla. Of course, I measure vanilla a little bit, but not really. Give that a stir. Time to add the eggs. 1 egg at a time, and then kept whisking in between each add to make sure they were fully incorporated. Add the dry to wet ingredients or wet to dry ingredients or however way you want to do it. Stir it together and add your sugar-free chocolate. I love the Lily's sugar-free chocolate chips. I think they are the best tasting sugar-free chocolate I have ever had. And that's a bold statement. Now that our cookie dough is mixed, you do have to let it sit at room temperature for about 30 minutes. Something about the flours needing time to absorb all of the liquid, science. So we're setting that to the side. You can make this in advance, stick it in the refrigerator for up to 2 days, cook it later. You can also mush it out and freeze it in discs and then cook it later. So those are all viable options. So we will set that to the side and we'll work on dinner for tonight, which is going to be Vietnamese pork and noodle bowls. See, these right here. Look how delicious that looks. Here are the ingredientes for this dish. I know like that looks like a lot of ingredients, but once you collect them all and kind of put them in front of you, it's gonna be okay. There's a lot of components, and usually the dishes with a lot of ingredients taste really, really good because there's a lot of contrasting flavors that make your taste buds go, yes! I'm so happy. Going to start with the pork meatballs. 1 teaspoon of lime zest to begin with. And if you guys don't have a microplane, I think it's a great kitchen tool. It's around $10. It would be a great stocking stuffer for those in your life. You want to get them a little something something for the holiday season. I got mine a really, really long time ago. I think mine was a gift actually. 1 teaspoon of fish sauce. I will measure that. I will. Just because it's like super strong. Half of your Thai chili should go in here, but I don't have one of those. But I will use some pepper. I'll probably add more once I add my meat. We'll see. 1 small shallot. This is not a small shallot. This is a very, very large shallot. I'll chop it with my new favorite knife, my Misen knife. Here's a little knife tip for you. Proper way to hold a knife, okay? So knife, grab it there, like this. Thumb, forefinger, like that. Then curl the rest of your fingers under so you're holding it very steady with this part. And your fingers should absolutely be able to fit underneath this and not hit your cutting board. Okay, this is how you hold a knife appropriately for chopping. Look at any like Iron Chef or something. This is how they're holding their knives. You're welcome. Woo! Misen almost sliced my finger. I'm gonna mix all of that together and we will make about 6 to 8 meatballs, not very many. I actually like doing recipes like this that don't make very many. Date night for me and Dave, the kids can have something that's easy. They would be thrilled if we had mac and cheese. I don't think I've bought like boxed mac and cheese in at least 6 months. It's been a very long time since we've had that. They go watch a Disney movie or something, and then Dave and I can sit down alone at the kitchen table. I really like that. There's my meatballs. We'll set those to the side. Okay, I'm gonna cook those in just a minute, but first, because once you start cooking, everything comes together really quickly, is I'm gonna make my sauce and wash all of my lettuce and greens and everything. To make our sauce, let's get a bowl. 1/4 cup of peanut butter. If you have one of these natural ones, they tend to separate, so you want to give it like a nice massage.
Do you live in New York? You guide me.
Really let that all come together. 1/4 cup of peanut butter. So it's kind of like a peanut sauce, I guess. I love peanut butter. I love peanut butter more than all of the other butters. I think it smells better and tastes better than almond butter. Unpopular opinion, maybe so. 3 tablespoons of water, some lime zest and juice, 1 tablespoon, which depending on how juicy your limes are. And of course you can always taste it and add more later. 1 teaspoon of sesame oil, one of my favorite things. I love the smell of this stuff. 1 clove of garlic, and I don't feel like chopping it, so I'm just gonna grate it with this. That is my sauce. Ooh, you see, can't see it very well. By now the cookies were done soaking and absorbing all of the liquid, so I decided to put them out on my cookie sheet and bake them up and see how they tasted before I put the dinner together. I will say, going back, I would make these thinner. I think I made them too tall. The baking powder and baking soda really fluffed them up, and I think they would get more crispy if they were thinner. So that's just like my experience. I would make them a little bit smaller also, but there's a nice little shot for you. They do look a little more cakey than a traditional cookie. I don't think it tastes anything like a regular chocolate chocolate cookie. Can I say it without spitting cookies everywhere? However, it is good. Tweaks I would make personally is, I think it needs a little bit more salt, and I think they need to cook longer. They're a little cakey. I don't know if there's any way around that. Maybe if they were touched thinner and like a sprinkling of salt on top, I think would be nice. time to cook the pork and put the noodle bowls together. So you're just supposed to put these on a skillet or on a griddle. I just decided to use my griddle that kind of came with my stove here, and to mush them flat. So they're not meatballs, they're like little baby burger patties, kind of. And I cooked my, I'm going to say this wrong, shirataki noodles that I got from my Thrive box. Rinse them in the sink and then boil them for like 2-3 minutes. It's really fast. And then basically you put everything together. You put the noodles in a bowl, your chopped lettuces, the pork, little meatball patties, some cucumber, the English cucumber, the sauce we made, some fresh cilantro on top, some lime. You can add some avocado if you want. Look at how beautiful this bowl is. I am shocked. And I did want to give a review on the pork noodle bowls. There might need to be a little more sauce. I probably didn't add enough lime juice is what I'm thinking. I didn't measure it and I should have measured it. And I think the pork itself needs salt. I really liked the freshness of the cucumber, and the cilantro was really, really nice in contrast of the richness of like the peanut sauce and the noodles. What a good substitute for regular noodles. I thought those were delicious. I would recommend those noodles, hands down. I think I'm gonna go sneak a cookie. We have a problem. It's this. Oh, hey, it's me in the mirror. My microwave decided to die. This dang microwave is only 4 years old. The fuse blew in the microwave. It wasn't working and it would flip the breaker, so we were wondering maybe the breaker outside is bad. So what we did is we took the plug, it plugs up here, and plugged it into a couple of different outlets. No, now the microwave doesn't work in any outlet, but this is still working. These are on the same breaker, but this works, but this doesn't work. And now it doesn't work anywhere in the room. So it's dead, and now Dave gets to see if he can figure out how to take this piece off and replace the fuse. So I am down a microwave, and now I have to put this away and clean that. So let's do that, and then we'll continue the video. Hey, we are going to rock out some keto pancakes. I'm very excited to try these out. The only keto pancakes I've ever done before were like cottage cheese and eggs, so I'm excited to try a sugar substitute and almond flour. And I will not be making my own syrup because I actually don't prefer syrup on my pancakes. I prefer a more savory breakfast in general, so I'm just gonna put peanut butter on my pancakes and eat them more like bread. And then of course, you can also cook some bacon on the side. Let's get started. While I have my butter melting on the stove because my microwave does not work, I am going to mix up my wet ingredients here in this blender. I like this recipe because you use the blender to mix it. I'm a big fan of that. And I think it would be easy because this is a large blender to double it or triple it for the size of your family that you have. So we have 3 eggs, 3/4 of a cup of water, vanilla, that looks goodish. And my butter is pretty hot right now, so I think I'm gonna turn this on and add the butter slowly. Maybe, I'm gonna think about that. It's on, I see it. Is it that? Okay. I don't wanna get scrambled eggs. I'm really thinking about this right now. It said melt the butter and then cool the butter, but I'm a little impatient for that. So I'm gonna pour it from this into this while it goes. Okay, that's the plan. Now, come on. This is like all kinds of stuck today. Oh my goodness. I put the lid on the wrong way. Oh my gosh. Time to get a new blender. Okay, as it turns out, the release lid to my blender is now broken. I MacGyvered it off with this. I'm gonna have Dave look at it, but I think the secure latch is like broken. So guess who's getting a new blender for Christmas? This girl. So instead I'm mixing it up in my little blender bottle guy with a separate blade without a specialty release lid, and it should be fine. I'm doing 1 3/4 cups of almond flour, and I really hope it all fits into this little guy because I feel like it's gonna be really full now. And my little 3/4 cup measuring cup is like one of my favorite things ever. Yeah, that is very full. Ooh. 2 tablespoons of the Swerve granulated sugar. Thank you to Thrive for hooking me up with that. 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt. That's not very much. And let's mix it up and hopefully nothing breaks this time. I feel like everything in my kitchen has broken today between the microwave and the blender, and I'm just like a little bugged right now. Okay. That looks like a pretty good, I almost said bladder, batter. Pancake batter. Ugh. Yeah, looks pretty good. Now, get a skillet or a griddle or whatever it is that you're gonna use. Couple of things I've learned from these pancakes is number one, they don't hold together as well as a traditional pancake. You're gonna want a really sturdy and large spatula for the flippage. They're very loosey-goosey, they're very willy-nilly. They just like kind of flip however they want. And because the base of this is almond flour, which is a nut, or is it a seed? Is it a nut or a seed? Please send help. They are prone to burn very, very quickly. I would keep the heat low. Taste testage, and we're just gonna go plain pancake because we wanna do it that way. I like the nuttiness of it, truthfully. And like the butter is really rich. Yeah, I can see it. Really rich, really satisfying. So you can make a sugar-free syrup if you want to. I think the Walden Farms syrup is sugar-free and it's really good. The Walden Farms maple syrup is shockingly good. You can just peanut butter, almond butter. The texture's a little crumbly. I say that's a dope substitute for pancakes if you're like into that pancake life. Let's go make something else. Next up, we are going to make some keto panna cotta. It is one of the easiest make-ahead desserts you could ever make. And this one only makes 4 servings, but this is super easy to double, triple, quadruple. It's an easy one to do for a dinner party because you can make it the day before, stick it in the fridge, and just bring it out when it's time to eat it. But I have some fresh vanilla beans, unflavored gelatin, my granulated swerve sugar replacement, and some heavy whipping cream. Over medium heat, all you're gonna do is bring this to a low simmer and then turn it off and let the flavor of the vanilla kind of steep into the heavy cream. This is probably the longest part of the whole process right here. I have a half a cup of plain water. I'm gonna add 1.5 teaspoons of this, and I don't know how much is in each packet, so we are going to measure. There's a half, 1, 1.5. It looks like there's about 2 teaspoons in each packet, so I did not use this entire thing. Let this sit until this gelatin kind of mixes into the water, and we will add it to our cream once our cream is finished. Right there. And also some granulated sugar. Well, I'm using this swerve today. 3 tablespoons of that. 2, 3. Whisk that in. Pour this into a bowl. Oops. And spill it a little bit. And put this bowl inside of another bowl.
And then I'll put that box inside of another box.
I have an ice bath right here, so I'm just trying to cool it off a little bit by setting it in there like this for about 20 minutes. Time to strain our mixture. Oh my gosh, stay. Please do not skip this step. This is so important to have a really, really smooth dessert. Okay, there we go. You can double it to make 8, so easy to make more. And you can even serve this in like pretty wine glasses and then just serve them in the wine glasses. I've seen that done before. Instead of trying to unmold them from these ramekins, you can serve them in the ramekins. There's a whole bunch of different ways you can do it. So I'm just trying to make sure that this is semi-even. Cover with plastic wrap, stick in the fridge for a couple of hours or an entire day if you want to serve this tomorrow. Boom, done. Okay, here is the panna cotta, and it did not set up enough. This is a little too liquidy, and I think maybe I underdid the gelatin perhaps. Should be a little bit more firm than that. Like, it's still kind of solid, more like a pudding than the texture it should be, but we'll do a taste test anyway. Yeah, it's definitely not supposed to be dripping. It's supposed to be way more solid than that. More like a flan, if you've ever had a flan. But it tastes like vanilla ice cream. The flavor is bomb. I think I didn't add enough gelatin. I probably should have done the whole pack instead of measuring it out maybe, but the flavor is spectacular. If you're doing keto and you're like feeling like you need something sweet, you want some vanilla ice cream, this is a great option. And I was gonna make a topping, but now I almost don't feel like I need to. It's so good on its own. 10 out of 10 recommend. Let's make some turkey veggie burgers. Here are all of the ingredients, and what you are about to see is actually Dave's favorite dish of everything that I made in this video. So the vegetables are actually going to create a lot of moisture in the turkey burgers, and of course we are not going to be doing these with buns or anything, so we're just going to load it up with vegetables and a really heavily flavored sauce. This recipe makes 4 servings, but I think this would be so easy to meal prep. You could make these really, really large burger patties. Like, look how huge these things are. Once you add the vegetables, they are very, very, I would say they fill the plate a lot. But it would be very easy to cook these in advance, or even just mold the burger patties and freeze them and then just pull them out as you need them. And I'm making this, it's a sour cream, mayonnaise, lemon juice, lemon zest, and olive oil and salt and pepper like sauce right here. This was one of the highlights of the dish, honestly. There's some fresh pepper in there as well. Dave loved the sauce. The brightness of the lemon was really nice. And then on the side, we made a super, super quick cherry tomato and basil salad, basically, of just those, some salt and pepper and olive oil, and just stir it together. It's really, really easy. You could grill these outside, but I'm in Idaho and it's freezing outside, so the skillet is where it was at.
Don't like the color, I'll change the shade of it. I'm not afraid of it. I know I'm
Taste test! I feel like we should do just the turkey burger to start with. Oh, the lemon sour cream mayo thing is like really, really nice. I want to choke on it. The lettuce, tomato, basil, it has like this really nice fresh element to it. And then the turkey burger itself is quite salty because of the Parmesan cheese. I may have gone a little less Parmesan cheese personally, and I didn't add any salt to that at all. And all the veggies added keeps it really, really moist. And then the zing of the lemon in the sour cream mayo sauce is like the perfect balance between everything. So I'm totally loving that. And then if you're not keto or your kids aren't keto, make extra patties and let them put them on a bun. And then the whole family can eat the same dinner. So good. Let's make my favorite dinner from the entire video, and that is this shrimp coconut soup. To kick off this Thai coconut soup, I have to thaw my shrimp. And I only have about a half a pound in this bag because I use the rest for my gumbo. And if you guys haven't seen that video where I made gumbo with my brother, I will leave it down below for you. That video was so much fun to make, and I think it's one of my favorite videos I've ever made. So if you haven't checked it out yet, ouch, I highly recommend it. Let's do maybe half of this bag, so I'll have approximately a pound and a half of shrimp, and you can thaw shrimp really, really quickly. I just have a colander in a regular bowl, and you can just set it out on your counter, or you can run cold water over it and it'll thaw in like 5 minutes. While I have some cold water running over this, all I'm gonna do now is chop up my bok choy and my cilantro and get those rinsed off. That's most of the prep work. The soup actually comes together really, really quickly. Let's get to chopping.
holding on to this, holding on. I know I'm holding on to this, holding on. Don't let me repeat it. Don't let me repeat.
Now that all my veggies are chopped, we're gonna saute the thicker stems of the bok choy in a big soup pot with some coconut oil. And if you've never tried bok choy before, I find it more mild than cabbage, although it is technically a cabbage. And I'm adding some chopped fresh ginger and some lemongrass. So you don't have to chop lemongrass. As you saw me do, you can take the back of a knife and smash the top of it, basically to split it because the lemongrass is going to simmer in my soup stock or base or whatever you want to call it. And the flavor will come out of it, and then I'll pull those out because they're very, very woody and hard to chew. And you're supposed to add, I think, four or 5 cups of chicken broth. And I don't carry canned chicken broth in my house. I just have the cubes or powders most of the time. So I put in some of those with just water, and it was no big deal. And then you did see me put some Thai curry paste, red curry paste in there. I had actually just had that in my fridge from a previous dinner that we had made. The fish sauce went in there, a whole can of the coconut milk. You let it simmer for, I don't know, 10 to 15 minutes. It's really not very long. And the smells in my kitchen, I could not believe it. Haley came home from school and she was like, why does it smell so good? And then right when you're about done and everything is cooked, you add the shrimp, because the shrimp literally take 5 minutes to cook in the broth. And then we'll pull it off the heat and add the last few ingredients. Okay, this is now off the heat. Add in the bok choy leaves, okay? And these will wilt down, so it's not gonna be as much as it kind of looks like right now. Let those wilt in for about the next 3 to 5 minutes or so. If you guys like shrimp, I think you are going to love this dish. Final touches are some sesame oil and a lime juice squeeze here at the end. And then of course, you have to taste your food. See if it's good on salt and all those things. I felt like the salt levels were really good, although you'll see later that Dave thought it needed a touch more salt for him. Sorry I'm not talking to you right now, but I was on the phone with, I think, my brother or my dad, I can't remember. And so I was trying to film the ending of this clip right here while listening to them on the phone. Ha! Multitasking. Hey Dave, taste this soup, because I love it. One bite, one shrimp bite, okay?
I would like more salt.
You need more salt, okay. Yeah, I might agree with you, a little bit more salt.
I like it.
I'm going to say, out of everything that I tried in this cookbook so far, this coconut soup is my favorite. It is delicious, so I highly recommend that. Thank you so much for joining me today to test out this keto cookbook. Like I said earlier, I've only done a couple of the recipes, so I definitely need to get in there a little bit more and find some more favorites that I can share them with you. But if you guys want to purchase that cookbook, or if you want to try out Thrive Market and get a free gift when you sign up, I will leave that link or both links down below in the description box. Thanks for joining me today, and I will see you in the next video.